Viral Mindfulness Monday, and it's Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. I want to help you understand mindfulness and how to integrate this into your life. So today I want to answer a question that comes from Michelle. Michelle is a new friend of mine. I met her last year at a yoga retreat at Joshua Tree. Such a beautiful woman, such a beautiful time in the desert. And Michelle sends me a really heartfelt, honest question. She says, Alexander, truth time. I'm having a really hard time letting light in when there's so many dark, terrible things happening every day. How can you work past it? How can I stop feeling useless? What in the actual is the matter with our society? And how do I bring my son up into the world we live in and not feel like a bubble is the safest place for him? Well, one of the things I want to remind you of is you are light, and especially because you are wanting it. That's what you're looking for. That's who you are. You're wanting to cultivate that. And so the difficult practice is to actually let the dark things in. So maybe you start working with that idea, is that you consciously and deliberately bring the darkness in and receive it. And you allow for some space within you for that. You hold it, you observe it, you lightly touch it. Kind of like that metaphor of the feather touching the bubble. That takes a lot of discipline. So if you imagine the bubble is the darkness, you're not going to pop it. You're not going to get rid of it, ignore it, deny it. You're not going to inhale it and try to take it in and own it. You're just going to touch it. That awareness might give you some perspective. Perhaps you bring the darkness in and you let it simmer, and you let your light then work with it and integrate your love, your beauty, your vulnerability, your creativity with that darkness, and then you send it outward. With hope, compassion, then you send it outward to your son in that perspective. This is actually a Tibetan practice called Tonglen, and it means sending and receiving. And Tonglen is a way to develop compassion. Tonglen flips what's natural for us on its head. It inverts it like a headstand. We naturally want to bring in the light and the goodness. Tonglen challenges you to receive the darkness, pull that all the way in. In fact, you even imagine that it's so thick and heavy, pulling it in, inhaling it all the way in, and in that moment, you let your light, your perspective and consciousness connect with it, and then out it goes with your intention. May the world be free of suffering. May the world begin to expand and evolve. Your other point, Michelle, how can I stop feeling useless? I totally feel the same way, and I don't know about that. It sometimes feels like, how do I even make a dent when there's so much war and so much terrible darkness and poverty and killings and injustice. And so then I go to Martin Luther King Jr., one of my favorite quotes that I love from him since today is his day. He said, "As my sufferings mounted, I soon realized that there were two ways in which I could respond to my situation, either to react with bitterness or seek to transform the suffering into a creative force. I decided to follow the latter course." So that's my final answer to your question, Michelle. Why not start turning this into your creative force? For me, so much of my creativity in music and art and even viral mindfulness, I put all these things together. I figured out how to film and create sound. And in fact, today's episode is coming to you with this new microphone where I'm actually having professional studio sound. And so I remember when I got home last November from Salt Lake City, Utah, where I was in a situation where my best friend was pretty much in this coma state and perhaps straddling between life and death. And when I came home and I wasn't sure how it was playing out and whether I had said goodbye to him for this lifetime, I sat down at my piano here and I found so much strength in my music. And so look for your creative force, because a lot of times with that creative force is the gift that you have to share. And so, Michelle, I want to share with you a new song I've been working on. I love it. I have this ability now and this understanding of music after a year and a half of training where I heard a song on the radio, and of course it's a love song, but I want to integrate and substitute love for him or her to your practice, your creativity, this force that Martin Luther King Jr. is talking about. That's what we're singing about here. So, without further ado, here's my song and my answer and love to you, Michelle. My heart up when the rest of me is down. You enchant me even when you're not around. If there are boundaries, I will try to knock them down. I'm latching on, babe. Now I know what I have found. All right, people, you've got your mindfulness challenge for the week. Go out and be mindful, and I'll see you next time. For those of you that don't know, every Monday I send out my most intimate notes from my presence to your inbox. So go to viralmindfulness.com and subscribe with your email address. All my love to your mindful week. Now I've got you in my space. I won't let go of you. I got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching on to you. Now I've got you in my space. I won't let go of you. I've got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching on.